Changdokgung Palace. Unlike the other four palaces, Changdokung Palace has preserved its original structures. It was built by King Taejong in 1405, and it was used until 1910. It is one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It was added to the list of the World Heritage Sites for these reasons. First, Changdokong had a great influence on the development of Korean architecture, garden design, etc. for many centuries. Second, the placement of the palace is in accordance with the feng shui principles, and the layout of buildings follows the Confucian principles, which represented the worldview of Joseon. Third, it is in harmony with its natural surroundings. The palace was destroyed during the Japanese invasion of 1592, and repairs were completed by King Gwangaegun in 1610. After that, it was used as the main royal residence for about 300 years. Looking around the buildings of Changdokong. Donhwamun. Donhwamun was built in 1412. It is the oldest gate among the 5 main palace gates in Seoul. A 9-ton bell along with a huge drum were placed on the second floor of its 2-story gate. The bell was rung 33 times at 4 a.m., which announced that people could go around the city. It represented the opening of a day. At 10 p.m., the bell was rung 28 times, and this was in hopes of a peaceful night. Chinese Scholar Tree. Following the Chinese traditions, 3 Chinese scholar trees were planted within the palace. They symbolize the top 3 officials who had meetings under trees like this in China. They also symbolize the top 3 Korean officials. People believed these trees protected the palace against evil spirits. Seonjeongjeon. This building was the king's office. It has blue-colored tiles, which were very expensive in the Joseon dynasty. Today, Korea's president also works under a blue-tiled roof building called Cheongwadae. The Annals of the Joseon Dynasty. During the meetings, everything that the king said and did was recorded by 2 writers. After the king had passed away, these records were published into a book. These books were called the Annals of the Joseon Dynasty, and they are now listed under the Memory of the World Program by UNESCO since 1997. First, the origin of the Changdokong Palace. King Taejong built the palace for his own use because he did not want to stay in Gyeongbokgung. He considered Gyeongbokgung as a palace with bad energy. What was the reason? In order to become the king, Taejong killed his half-brothers along with their followers. Second, the short reign of King Danjong. It was in Changdokgung where the young Danjong became the king at the age of 11. He only ruled here for 5 years, after which his uncle, King Sejong, dethroned him. Later, he was killed by the king's order in Yeongwon. Third, the last child of the Korean Empire. Prince Yeongchin was the 7th son of King Gojong and the last crown prince of the Daehan Empire. He was forced to move to Japan and marry a Japanese princess. Their son, Lee Gu, studied in the USA. He met an American woman there and they got married. The Lee family, however, did not want a mixed-race child in their bloodline. Eventually, Lee Gu was forced into a divorce. Lee Gu never remarried and he died lonely in Japan. Nakseonje and Seokbokyeon. Nakseonje is a complex of 3 buildings built by King Hunjong in 1847. This complex consists of king's living quarters, a library, a villa for his concubine, Lady Kim, and a residence for the Queen Mother. The king built them to express his love to Lady Kim and his passion for art. Changdokong was built in hopes of a son, but King Hanjong was unable to have one. Buyongji is a square lotus flower pond. The square shape symbolizes the earth, and the round island symbolizes the heaven. Occasionally, the king enjoyed boating and fishing here with his officials. He sometimes enjoyed listening to musical performances.